Because like with my past experience, like I know I'm not licensed, I'm not an agent, but I have customer service background. I always have, you know, with my past job, I was in charge of my client care center, so I try to strive and achieve for great customer service, and it's not just for me, but it's for you guys. Like I want to help you guys and your clients, and I try to do my best. So I just put together like a little slideshow about serving your clients or just servicing them. So a little thing that we did with my past job was the difference between servicing versus actually serving your clients. So servicing would be communication, answering questions clearly, responding to them when contacted. And even though they're essential things, they make you reliable, but it doesn't keep you proactive with your clients. So we strive to serve our clients, and I think that that should be like a huge focus when it comes to anything that you do with your clients, in the office, the team, and anything that you do with your transactions or outside of your business. So for serving, it's very basic, but it also keeps you with that connection with the person that you're dealing with, because they're more than just somebody that you're doing business with. They're a human being, and their feelings and their emotions and everything that they're going through, it matters. So how can that be achieved? By serving your clients. So just a couple things that I put down would be like, first and foremost, understanding your client's needs. Help the clients identify maybe needs that they haven't even presented to you yet, and that you may not have even realized. So basically you want to focus on different possible solutions, help redefine their definition of their needs. And then being full of ideas and solutions and alternatives, so that term, conflict resolution based essentially. And then think about how to make the client's work easier. Now that doesn't just mean who you're working with, but that's, again, like helping me too, because if you're giving me everything that you possibly have, it makes the whole transition smoother. It helps me help you guys out, and it also looks good for the team and for your client.
With this too, if I can say,
Yeah.
with being real estate based and your clients or even customers, prior to getting them to sign with you, a lot of this too is asking questions. Because they may not even know, if they've never done this before, or maybe they haven't done it in a long time, they may not even know what they need. So you need to ask a lot of questions, and that helps you even go further with this.
Yeah, so like think about it, because I like the little chauffeur that has the platter, because like the butler, you know what I mean? So think about somewhere that you've been where you had like the best customer service. Where has it been as of lately?
Whoever I'm taking care of.
That is true.
Good.
I hate to say it.
But
that
that's
is
good.
True.
That's good that you can realize that, because that's something that you're going to put forth in everything that you do. Like the first thing that comes to my mind is when you stay in like a really, really nice hotel. They're serving you. Like as soon as you go up to that desk, they're asking you like, do you like any specific needs that you have and things like that. And where I came from at the dealership, that was the thing that they always asked the clients. Like even if they were just out in the showroom, they would tend to their needs. Like these people are coming in for oil changes and car washes, and they're asking them like, is there anything that they need? They're literally serving them, and that goes a long way. I mean, it really does. It shows up. It may not show up now, but it shows up later on.
Well, that's even just, I mean, as basic as, I mean, like you said, the higher end hotels and stuff like that, they're definitely. But that even goes to the basic, like going through a drive-through.
Yeah.
Right. And you can tell a huge difference when somebody cares about their position that they're in.
Yeah, definitely.
And the way they treat you. And then in turn, you usually treat them a lot better.
Have you been to Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A has got the best
They have a
service.
well-oiled machine. I've
Yeah.
driven past there, and they even have tents for their people that are working there, so that way they are not out in the rain and cold, tending to the lines. Like,
Yeah.
they literally have tents posted up for them. But like,
But you
that
can tell
seems,
if they
that
wanna
seems
help.
silly, but they care because they pay attention. They know that that line is going around the block. They know that they have 2 or 3 workers standing outside, walking down the car line, trying to serve those people, even before they go up to the order line. They're taking care of them, and then as they move up through the line, everything's done. It's their order's finished, and I mean, that's good customer service. That's good
I think
customer
that
care.
maybe, was Chick-fil-A, or who was it that My Pleasure came from? Instead of saying, like, because we just started this probably 2 years ago, where we were trying to say, it's my pleasure, when
We-
somebody,
That was something
You
that we used at my dealership,
Yeah.
with pleasure, my pleasure.
yeah, because most people will say, oh, not a problem, this, is, I do this all the time. Well, you should make it sound like that you are doing more than what other people are doing. Because if you are actually servicing them better than other agents are servicing them, or other people, or whatever, even us as working together, we want to treat you guys, much better than we would think anybody else would treat you if you
Well,
went
it's just,
somewhere else.
I think
you know?
in anything that you do, I mean, especially when it's client-based or customer service-based, you always wanna be one step ahead.
Yeah.
You always wanna be ahead of the game, because if you're not, it just doesn't look
Somebody
good.
else is.
That's how
Yeah,
they,
some-
It
if
just
somebody else
makes you
will be.
look like everybody else.
that's
Yeah.
how they train people at Highland Software, that's why that's one of the like #1 places to work.
It was written.
Highland Software,
one of the
if they let them do
coworkers
cars,
got
like they go in
downtown
jeans,
Cleveland,
they have a slide in the middle of their building.
Julius or
Like,
something.
it's really weird, my
It was
daughter
about
interned
how to
there.
make-
And Keller
You don't
Williams
just
made it
wait
as
on them
number
and come cut
one.
their hair,
in
it's
the
just how you
country.
service them when they get
Oh,
coffee
it
and
is
Yeah.
just
above
everything about that customer.
everybody.
You go to the
But
Ritz
you know what
Carlton where my
though,
wife
the
used to
Arvin
work,
centers do not
they
have
have
that.
notes in their
Because
computer that say,
when I
Mr.
was
Johnson, when you come to
They're,
visit,
Yes.
loves fruit
They're
on the
one
thing in the
in-
morning.
These
like-
are the types
Like
of
Nona
things that we
over
used to do
there,
at my dealership.
they're
Like, I would
Arvin
keep
centers
logs.
awesome. Like people,
It's-
as soon as you
it's
walk in.
learning how to organize yourself,
Mhm.
like I
as
know,
soon
like
as you
I
walk
would send
in,
holiday
it's
cards
just
and
about
stuff,
the
but
people that you work
now
with,
I'm in
the
full-time
energy,
going-
like you walk in there
It's
and they're
paying
like,
attention
"Oh,
to
good
detail
morning,
and-
how are
and
you?" Well,
taking
I was
that
like,
information
I felt like
and
she was gonna
using
jump out
it
of
above
her
and
skin.
beyond.
She was super nice, you know
That's
what I
how
mean?
all of them I've ever been into.
Yeah.
All right, so 2 questions I want you guys just to kind of like ask yourself.
Okay, lucky. Sorry.
Am I engaged with my clients? So that goes for co-broke, vendors, me. I mean, are you engaged with me? Because if you're not, and I'm out of the loop on things that I'm not necessarily helping to serve your client and our vendors and that we're working with. So anyone who's involved in your transactions in business. And then the next thing, and this is something that I even ask myself when I'm taking care of your clients through my listing and closing coordination. And that's, am I providing my clients with excellent service and a job well done? I mean, it all comes down to that, because if you have excellent service, that job's gonna get done, no matter what.
And I will tell you that if you have anything that you're ever, like you have a hard to deal with other realtor or client or anything, and you're writing up an email or something and you want it to just be double checked, I've been having Jessica look at some of my stuff. So if you want her to just look something over quickly and say, hey, maybe you want to add this or change this around a different way, she's excellent at that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's all I did. I mean, like, my last 2 years at my last position, and that's kind of actually why I kind of like decided to leave there, because I just felt like it was time to like move on. But we really put like the surveys. I hate surveys. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, they're awful, because especially the way that we had our survey system set up, it wasn't the best format, and people could. The way that the scoring system was, it like started to kind of like ruin like everything that we had worked for. And even my husband, with his job, when he worked at AT&T, they had a huge survey system, and the survey wasn't even based off of what he was doing for them. It was more or less based off as AT&T as a whole. Well, how is that fair to him to give him a bad score, and then
not
he
directly
loses
about
out
him.
money in his pay. Well, the dealership was losing out on money because these people, they would be upset that their car settings wasn't working right. They thought that the salesman, well, that had nothing to do with your service experience. So the dealership was losing out on money, and these are the types of phone calls that I'd have to field, and I'd have to track and do follow-up and send out emails and try to find the best solution to keep them like coming back to the dealership essentially. And these were like longtime clients. So golden rules, so 5 golden rules of excellent customer service, and this is, I think that this is a phenomenal rule-based system. So let empathy be your guide. Obviously you don't want to be like too involved, because then if you're too involved, then you get emotionally attached, and that can kind of get in the way of things. But put yourself in someone else's shoes, understand what they're feeling. And it also allows you to relate to your clients, and then you have a better ability to communicate with them, problem solve with them, and then they start to feel like they're being understood. Be engaged and responsive, so communicating in a timely manner, and that goes for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Sophia? I know, right? You communicate nonstop, and I love it. I love it. Even Dave too. Keep all parties updated. Make it a priority to follow through on a follow-up. So think about that. Make it a priority to follow through on a follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just say, okay, I'm going to get back to you. No, follow through on that. I don't know what your system has to be to do that. Whether it be putting a Post-it note right in front of you, putting it on your calendar, setting a reminder or alarm
Yeah.
on your phone.
That's what I do.
Follow up. Like it's necessary. It's pertinent, because if you don't and somebody's not in the loop, then they're going to start thinking crazy things.
And on that, I will tell you, and we're gonna probably have a meeting next week with whoever wants to show up. If you don't want to show up, may not be on the team anymore, just saying. Because we are very much going back to the nuts and bolts, how the dream team used to run, okay? The past year and a half or so, it has not been run like Chris and I was running it. We are very much believe in everything that she's talking about. Within the team, like Jessica's saying, this is important not only with your clients, but even on the team. If we message you, we expect to be messaged back.
Yeah, that's.
We shouldn't have to message you 2 days later about the same exact thing because you didn't message us back.
Right.
You know, it is very important to follow up. Same thing with leads that you receive. We have a whole form that was given to everybody a long time ago, and it's been used several times. You guys are gonna be seeing that again next week. And it's how to get a lead. And we've had this past, whatever, 6 months, year, of people complaining that they're not getting leads. Well, it would be the people that aren't in the room. You know, it is very important to be engaged, you know, be responsible for your business. Because if you're not engaged, you are not responsible, period. And if you are, guess what, if you are not following up with us, I guarantee you're not following up with your clients.
Right.
I was
And that's
just told
That's-
recently
yeah.
from somebody on the team, and I'm not gonna mention any names or anything, but somebody that is on the team, I asked, when's the last time you spoke to their client? Oh, whenever. This has been listed over 6 freaking months, okay? So if you see people like leaving the team or coming back, you know, don't think like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Think about your own business, keep moving forward and do the right thing. Because a lot of times, people get too involved in other people's stuff or what's going on with them. Don't worry about other people. Worry about your own business and be engaged, because we are definitely gonna be running things differently moving forward.
I do have one question. So, like the other night, I got a lead that came to my phone after like 10:30. I know we're supposed to answer them within 5 or 15 minutes or 4 hours, but 4 hours.
Where did you get the lead from?
Sync.
Okay, it is up to you.
Okay. Because I sent
You
the
want-
email
I'm gonna tell
out,
you-
and then I called to
But
follow
it
up.
doesn't,
I
like, when they
But-
log in and it's that late, my phone goes off.
Mhm.
Like I have it set so.
Mine does too.
Yeah, so what happens is that person's actually online, like that came through. like,
Correctly.
not
It's
Immediately,
active.
right. So if that
I just didn't know if
person,
it was like not professional to call them at that
If
time.
they are in there, and it depends, if they're saying, hey, I'd like to see this property, or if they're just in there looking,
Yeah, because I haven't,
That's up to you.
that's my experience.
but if you see that I literally had somebody calling me at like 12:30 in the morning and picked up the phone. They're like, oh my gosh, I was just gonna leave you a message. I'm like, I'm up. In fact, I was sitting at my desk at home,
Mhm.
and I just picked it up. They were shocked.
Yeah,
If you want to be engaged at that time, do it.
okay.
However, if it's somebody just looking, because I know you get
Mhm.
notified, if you have somebody that says, hey, I'd like to look at this house, or hey, I have questions, engage with them.
Okay.
If they're just looking, that might be another thing.
Yeah, if they're just looking like, send a message, like an
You
email or
could,
something,
you could, I
okay.
see you're looking, and, because
I
they
send them
may,
a text, and if they're up and wanna talk, they'll reply.
Yeah.
If they don't, I get it the next morning, that's fine, but you can do it from your app, just hit, their number, and then it'll text them.
Mhm.
But I do it that way, and if they reply because they just logged in, then I'm like, okay, they're up, I will call.
that might be the time that they're up and at 'em.
Yeah,
They may work, first shift where and have kids, and that's when they're starting to do with their own time.
yeah.
10, 11 o'clock at night is when maybe they do their own thing. So,
Yeah, like people that I know that message me about stuff, like the girl, I have an appointment to call her today at 5:30 for a listing, that I know. But she was texting me last night at like 11, like, I'm sorry, she missed my call yesterday. And I'm like, messaging her back, like,
Yep.
because I feel like with people that I know, I just wanted to ask before I just start invading
if
any
they are
people I don't
texting you
know.
or calling you or emailing you directly, absolutely.
Okay,
If you,
just see that they're
if you
looking.
want to,
Okay.
because I'll tell you, that's when they're engaged.
Mhm.
If you wait till the
And if
morning.
they see that I'm available
If
at
you
that
wait till the
time,
morning,
vetting
they
me.
may be
Yeah.
sleeping,
Even
they may
more.
be getting up ready and going to work. They may not be they may totally forget by the time they get home at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah. Okay.
So when it is that they just log in and they're looking at stuff, you can message back, hey, I see that you're on there,
Mhm.
Or they're in their
And see if they-
work
see if
in the
they
middle of the day,
engage.
don't
Okay.
you know.
Right, right. You
Sometimes
have
people
no idea
log
when
in
they're.
at 4 in the morning, and I'm like, what the heck? Go
My
out.
investor lady was on my website at 2:25 a.m. the one night, and like she does a lot of night stuff.
Yep,
So like if she messages me at night and I'm up, like we're texting or
yep,
whatever.
that's what I would
so-
do.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nice. I like it.
Well, and it's a lot with mirroring matching. That
yeah.
is mirroring and matching.
Mhm.
Because whoever you are dealing with, you want to mirror and match them.
Yeah.
If they're high wired, you want to be high wired. If it's somebody that's
Low maintenance.
older and just,
Yeah.
you want to be, if you are normally a high wired person,
Mhm.
you have to mirror match.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have issues with doing that. So if you're sitting in with somebody that needs a little bit more attention, or you're gonna have to slow down. You're not gonna be able to go to a million miles a minute.
See, and I feel like Chris is he's the same, he's monotone all the time, he's the same. Like when I hear him on the phone, like I'll hear some people on the phone with him and they'll be like on 10, and Chris is like, well, and then he'll talk to an older person and be the same. And I'm the opposite, like I'll listen to the person's tone. Actually, there's a video on YouTube I have to find for you guys about listening to someone's tone to mirror and match it, but not mocking them, but matching them.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? And it's very important in the conversation because that's how you get people to vibe with you.
Mhm.
Like honestly,
Same with body language.
yep, I haven't had any buyer that I've met with that didn't want to buy with me, and that's because instantly when they come in, I pay attention to that. And you have to pay attention to their body language.
Mhm.
Like I have a lady, she'd sit like this the entire time, wouldn't move. So when I talk to her, I sat like this the entire time. And then I get other people that are, and I'm like, okay, and animated with them, not as much, but you know what I mean? So then they feel comfortable, like, okay, I like
We're a
this
good match.
person. Yeah, exactly. So, and that's very important, I feel.
That's like telephone voices is what I call it.
Yeah,
Because depending on what you want to get across to them on the phone, there's multiple different voices that I use. It sounds
Yeah.
crazy, but it's true, you
Yeah.
know? And then once you get, like you said, once you get a feel for how they talk back with you, then you kind of pick up, and that's the tone of voice that you use when you talk to them.
Yeah. The only thing I would say is, remember that you are the professional. So you're
Right.
mirroring and matching, however.
Don't go
Slam
troll
it
paper
F-bombs.
on anybody.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I mean at all.
Yeah.
That's not what I mean at all, so let me finish. So what I'm talking about is, a lot of times you'll get clients that, well, you should do this, and you should do that, and you should do this, you know. Don't, make sure you're the professional. It's like going to a dentist or going to a surgeon. You're not gonna tell them what to do. You're not gonna say, hey, you need to do this, or you need to do that. They're gonna tell you exactly what the procedure is, and you're gonna be like, yeah, okay, that's how you're gonna do it.
Right.
So, just remember, you're definitely mirroring and matching with the person. However, if the person is demanding and stuff like that, you gotta remember, you're the professional.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think like what we just talked about kind of rolls perfectly into the next rule that I have here is remember ABC, is always be communicative.
yeah,
So how you communicate and how well you communicate will leave a strong impression. So
Right.
literally what we just talked about is essentially just that,
Yep.
you know? And then, you know, taking the time to construct a well-written email or calling versus texting, and for, especially for really important conversations and discussions, they will have that comfort, like, wow, like I'm in really, really good hands, who I'm dealing with. And then, you know, go the extra mile. I'm a firm believer in that. So whatever you want to do when it comes to providing that wow moment, do it whenever possible. I'm not saying be showsy, but creating that wow, powerful moment, it just goes a long way. And then think beyond stated questions. So even though they're asking you something, it goes back to be always one step ahead and follow up with more information. So you're way ahead of them, but also think ahead of that, of what they may question you about, and you're being really informative. And then lastly, show your appreciation, and that goes with anything that you're doing. Not only just your client, but vendors, co-broke, like, and that's constantly what I'm making sure that I'm doing, like, for you guys too, like, especially at the end of these transactions. I thank every single person. I send out a thank you email to every single person, thanking them for working with us, you know, on the transaction. It goes a long way. And making sure your client feels appreciated and choosing to work with you. And kindness and lasting impressions go a long way, and it builds those personal connections. And then I just kind of wanted to finish with this because I actually just read an article on this a couple weeks ago about how customer service is literally like the new marketing.
Oh, yeah.
So, you
and
know.
it's about them, not about you.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, every time that you're providing a wowing moment, it's adding that additional emotional support to that experience with whoever you're engaging with. That's marketing. When you assist a customer's family member and they're not directly your customers, that's been happening a lot with Dave. You know, he sold the Wargos home, brought the daughter in. I mean, it's like a domino effect.
Yep.
Like those referrals and those conversations, they will just keep moving and moving, and Dave's gonna keep going further and further out there because he's providing them with wow client service. A warm and inviting entrance experience starts all the way from the top, and all the way as they exit out. You know, do you get what I'm saying by that? So as soon as you bring them in, and as they leave with us, and I kind of feel like I play an intricate role in that as an exit experience, because if something is missed on my end, and if I'm not doing what I should be doing, what kind of experience is that providing? And then also providing facts that are actually helpful, and that's kind of one of the things that I think that as a team, we help with tremendously. And then self-service that actually works. So maybe you should be asking yourself, like, how your marketing in this sense is going so far for yourself and your business.
I have all my reviews on my business Facebook page are from previous clients and people I've worked with. And I had a lady message me on there, she's with Ryan right now, trying to get pre-approved. She said, you know why I picked you? Because you're the only one of the agents that I went to that had 5-star on Facebook. Like, she doesn't know me. She found me going through Facebook pages, their reviews, and reading the reviews. And she's like, and I saw that person has a picture on your page that you helped them buy a house. like, you know how I take when they sell their house?
Yep.
And she goes, and I noticed that each one of those goes with a picture you have. She goes, so to me, I feel like that's what I'm looking for. And I was like, so I sent her to Ryan, and Ryan's like, oh, okay, is she a friend of yours? I was like, no, she found me on Facebook. He goes, you gotta leave from Facebook? I was like, Ryan, go to my page, like, at least 6 of those people are from
That's the
Facebook.
one Jessica's working with right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some guy, what is he, he's like some kind of professional, like in our world, like a vendor kind of type, gave me a 5-star, I don't know him, gave me a 5-star review of my, I have to look it up, my
That's why.
Facebook business page,
That's fair.
which
Yeah.
I'm not on his business page, but I thanked him and he's
But
like,
see, for me,
had
I
coffee
won't.
with such
Yeah, I
and
would-
such.
You-
I won't because
you-
my name as a professional
And you go
is
for
out
coffee.
there.
I'm like,
And
okay,
if this
thank you.
guy is a vendor and he sucks at life and he gives crappy service,
He sucks
I'm
at
not
life.
putting my
He
name
sucks
on there
at
unless
life.
I've actually dealt with that person.
Mhm.
Because then I'm saying I'm co-signing for his bad behavior or service,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you get hundreds of
Wait, say that
people
again?
liking your page that are just agents or whatever because they want you to do the same. I took a Facebook thing, I watched a video and it says, do
Absolutely.
not do that because your rating will go down if that person's goes down because you basically co-sign that.
I
So
agree
you have
with
to be
that. I do
very-
agree with
yeah,
I think that there's
I
nothing
just
wrong with this,
don't-
I think that you.
Now, if
should
I've
look
dealt
at
with them
every person.
before, like, I will
Well,
go to their
Facebook
page
is-
and put something.
Transactions
Well,
are
You
shaky.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you
I'm the same
obviously
way.
have
Yeah.
your own good knowledge of who you would ask to
Right.
give you a review, but I see nothing wrong with that at all. That's kind of all I really have. I mean, I'm willing to help any way that I can. Again, I know I'm not like